It was quite a shock for me to leave the peace and tranquility of the English countryside and to join my husband in this establishment here in Bolton. To start, as my father's carriage, carrying my husband and myself, approached the outskirts of the town, one could see a cloud of thick smoke hung over the centre. As we entered the town itself, there are a large number of people moving from one place to another, going about their business. In some parts of the town, I noticed that we travelled through a strange, cloying odour, the stench of profit, my husband called it. He said I would get used to it. And I suppose after these 20 years here in Bolton, and when the wind does blow this way, I have come to terms with it. My husband's mills are situated in the centre of Bolton, near to a good supply of water from the river and the canal and the railway, which brings in coal. Water and coal is needed to create the power for the steam engines. The byproduct of burning coal is smoke, which is why the mills and factories of Bolton are marked in the landscape by tall brick chimneys, and that all industrial towns are covered with a layer of smoke. We, however, live in a villa some distant from the centre, where the air is a good deal cleaner. I wouldn't choose to live in the centre of Bolton, especially when it's warm and dry. When we were married, my husband and I had a new house, a villa, constructed for his new family. It has 3 stories and the latest modern conveniences. It is built on a slope overlooking the town, so my husband can oversee his kingdom, as he says. It is quite a view. Every day, my husband takes his carriage on a tour of his mills to make sure all is well. The running and management of the household is left to me, and let me assure you, it is a job of work as great as running any factory. Every day, I meet with the housekeeper and the butler to make sure all is well and to inform them of the family's requirements for the day, that is, if we're entertaining. The butler and housekeeper then give instructions of work to the cook, the footman, and the housemaids to make sure the house is kept warm and clean and all is as it should be. My husband often entertains local mill owners and such local dignitaries as may be invited to call upon us, so it is important that the house is always well presented. My husband had briefly considered embarking on a career in Parliament, but he changed his mind after one of his mills was destroyed in a fire. It was caused by a fault in the gas lighting. A not infrequent occurrence in Bolton, sadly. It's the same gas lighting as we have in this house. He devoted himself instead to restoring his fortunes. So Parliament will have to wait. For one of our sons, perhaps. Anyway, back to the house. As you enter, there is a fine hall with a great staircase. The house is decorated throughout with printed wallpaper. The floor of the hall is marble. Each room has a large window with thick, heavy curtains to keep out the cold, and each has a fireplace for additional warmth. The rooms are furnished and decorated in the latest of fashions. I spend much of my day at my desk writing letters. First, I write to my sons to keep them informed of their father's coming and goings and any local news. Then I write to my family to make sure all is well. I inquire after Papa's health. He has been ill lately. I try and write every day. There is usually a mountain of correspondence requiring my attention, which will occupy me for most of the day. Luckily, there are frequent daily posts. There will be the usual bills from local tradesmen, which I ensure are settled quickly. One doesn't want to get a reputation for penny pinching and lateness. But I am more than happy to dispute any unreasonable demands, especially with regards to poor quality groceries. We used to have our groceries sent in from Manchester, but the market hall in Bolton now provides goods of the same quality, so we purchase them from there. Sometimes we have fish and poultry sent up from my father's estate. Then I plough through the invitations to attend social functions or dinners from our circle in Bolton or Manchester. Then I move on to the requests for my husband and I to attend charitable events or to support one of the myriad of committees newly sprung up to deal with some pressing challenge to Bolton's well-being. In the afternoon, I like to take tea with a friend to discuss local matters or matters concerning our friends and acquaintances. I'm sure it's the same all over the world. Everybody loves gossip.